Your health. This is what we are all about here at South Florida Integrative Health Center, transforming healthcare, transforming your health, and not just looking only for disease, but looking to help a person reach optimal health. And how do we do that? We put together these systems, these underlying causes of aging that we see in the research over the last 25, 30 years. Functional medicine, which means how does a person function, not just if they're at a snapshot of one day on their labs they have a disease or they don't have a disease, but how do they feel? Are they feeling alive with a lot of vitality, or are they just dragging along, but yet they're within the range on these reference ranges on these labs, which only shows for disease. And as the population gets sicker and sicker, the reference ranges change. But yet each person is unique. It's called biochemical individuality. And that means how you interact with your environment through your lifestyle, the way you sleep and stress. Not only that, the foods, the nutrients in the foods, and the environmental toxins, and how the body is handling all this. This is what is so important to optimize, to get those systems in place, those systems that are the underlying contributors to these chronic diseases that are the number one. Heart disease is the number one killer, and that's a chronic disease, meaning it doesn't just happen overnight. It's through these lifestyle choices, partially genetics, and that is what they call genotype versus phenotype. You're not just locked into the genes that you were given. There is this idea that genes, and this is called epigenetics, can be changed. It doesn't have to express itself by not by inputting, by giving your body more of what it needs and taking away the things that are stressing the body out, whether it's environmental toxins, heavy metals, not eating enough nutrients, or an imbalanced diet causing glycation or what's called insulin resistance. So, what are these underlying causes that we optimize here in functional medicine and transformational medicine, meaning that we transform health into becoming a healthier person by making sure that we optimize these underlying systems in the body. One of these systems is metabolism. Metabolism is how we process our foods and our energy, how we get energy. This is why we work very, very hard at optimizing the mitochondria. The mitochondria takes the food that we eat, the oxygen that we breathe, and makes energy out of it. And that is a process that at times is not functioning optimally. It has a lot of byproducts. It's like putting bad gasoline into a car engine. It still might drive, but it has a lot of exhaust that on an emissions test, you would see it's not optimal. And same with our body. We want to put in those nutrients so that we can measure these byproducts of the mitochondria to see that it's healthy. And that is an important step in overall health. We also want to improve liver detoxification. That requires understanding these liver detoxification systems and optimizing them through nutrients, through foods, and again, through taking away the toxins or environmental toxins. And again, there's these hormones, these called these xenohormones, pseudo hormones, that kind of acting like hormones and therefore confusing the messages that our hormones in our own body are trying to send to each other. And that is something that needs to be really honed in on. That's called estrogen disruptors. They come in through plastics, through heating plastics, and through drinking out of containers that are made of plastic, pesticides, and other chemicals. Sometimes chemicals we breathe in can sit on our receptors of our hormones and confuse our hormones. Those are called endocrine disruptors. This is an important system to optimize, and that's through our liver detoxification system. We want to make sure that we want to balance and optimize our vitamins and nutrients and test for those and make sure that we're not reacting to certain foods, and that's called food sensitivities. So what's so important is not just testing for these things that we're mentioning, but knowing how to make protocols and put together effective protocols that are going to address when these are issues, when these systems are not optimize. So, for example, uric acid is part of this xanthine oxidase system. So we know that system requires certain nutrients, and to take away foods or nutrients that burden this system. And that's how we optimize this system. So therefore, uric acid is going to be in its right amount, not too low and not too high. And we do this with multiple systems in the body. Methylation is a very important system that we optimize. Gut health is extremely important because that is where a lot of our immune system is located and where we get inflammation from if that immune system is activated. And we want to make sure that we're not reacting to certain foods in an overwhelming way. We want to make sure that we don't have an overgrowth of even what's called neutral bacteria, that they are there in small amounts, but when they overgrow, they become inflammatory. So we need to do specific type of testing and really looking at more natural protocols to work with healing the gut and helping the gut with gut overgrowth. And if there's a lack of important intestinal or um, gut activities going on, like sufficient enzymes and sufficient digestion of fats, all this is carefully looked into. We also want to make sure that the cells are not getting glycated. I mentioned that is when we have these ups and downs of blood sugars. So you see, we put it all together. And when you put it all together and we treat each person individually, and it's a personalized medicine, a personalized protocol, we could really then be way ahead, be proactive in this chronic disease process. So we still look for disease, but we look also for optimal health, building health, not just looking for it to be out of the reference ranges for only disease, but to be optimal at all these different processes, insulin and blood sugar dynamics, hormone regulation, making sure all the hormones are honed in, not just subclinical, that a person can walk around for many, many years with subclinical hypothyroidism. We really want to optimize that thyroid and really optimize all those different hormones. So this is where we're transforming medicine and not just looking for disease. Getting people to reverse these chronic diseases is really our main mission. So reach out to us. We have a discovery call at the bottom of our screen, and we're happy to help you understand how functional medicine can transform your health into really leading a more vital, a health with more vitality, and a health with more feeling your best, not just getting through life as what they call the walking wounded, where you're not quite a disease, but you're not quite well. So reach out to us and we'll help you on your wellness journey. Everyone have a healthy day.